of the street. Young tonight, you're the lady of my dreams. Yeah, my life, yeah, you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone.
Hello.
We are hope you're doing well. We are from group 2. We're so excited to share our presentation with you. Before we begin, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Lintang Permatasari and my friend
I am Duratul Muntafia.
I am Daris Nurhaliza Rahman.
and our friend Amanda Nurfitriani. Now, let us take you on a short journey. The sky above us, the air we breathe, and the leaf within us all are connected by an invisible phase carbon dioxide. Today, we'll explore how these ocean gas play a big role in respiration and process that keeps every living being alive. Let's begin our journey into understanding the benefits of carbon dioxide and respiration in everyday life. First, our topic is air. What is the air? What is it? Air. Today we are going to learn about air.
What is air? Air is a type of matters that is needed by all living beings. Without air, there will be no life. It is one of the most important elements of Earth, and all living beings depend on it. So, what are the characteristics of clean and healthy air? It has no color, it has no smell, has no taste. It feels fresh and cool when we breathe it. But nowadays our air is starting to become polluted. Air pollution is when the air contains harmful substances that can cause health problems. What is air pollution? Let's watch this video.
Air is a type of matter that is very important for all living things. Without air, there would be no life. Air is one of the elements of life on Earth. We depend on it greatly. That's why we need to know what air is, what its characteristics are, and what its benefits are. Here are the characteristics of clean and healthy air: colorless, odorless, tasteless, feels fresh and cool when we breathe in. But nowadays, the air is becoming polluted and it can harm living beings. Did you know, friends, air can become polluted? One cause is smoke from vehicles, but thanks to trees, dirty air can become clean again. But what happens if all the trees are cut down? There will be nothing left to filter out the smoke and pollution. Pollution air becomes dirty, colored, and smelly. Suffocating, it can cause air irritation, and when we breathe it in, it does feel fresh or cool. Those are the six opals air. Here are some things that cause air pollution: legal logging or cutting down trees, burning garbage of our world, use of fossil fuels, smoke from factories or industries, smoke from vehicles. This can lead to various diseases like asthma, bronchitis, cancer, other skin diseases. So how do we prevent air pollution? Here are some ways we can help: planting trees, using public transportation, maintaining vehicle engines properly, building factories far away from residential areas, so fewer people are affected. Building factories far away from residential areas so fewer people are affected.
These are some ways to prevent air pollution. The second our topic is the carbon cycle. Anyway, what is the carbon cycle?
The carbon cycle is the process of carbon movement on Earth, which involves several intricate stages. The carbon cycle begins when plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and convert it into glucose and oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. The oxygen produced is taken in by other living organisms through respiration. Humans, animals, and plants release carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere. When plants, humans, or animals die, microorganisms such as a bacteria and fungi becomes them. This carbon dioxide is then absorbed by plants.
Material is the transpiration in plants. By the way, what is the transpiration in plants?
What is transpiration? We just studied that the transportation of food in plants occurs in phloem and its water occurs in xylem. Now, we will discuss transpiration and the factors affecting it. Plants continuously absorb water from the soil, but not all the water absorbed is used by the plant. Excess water evaporates from aerial parts of plants and mostly through the stomata below the lamina of the leaf. This process is called transpiration. Ever wondered how plants draw water up against the force of gravity? The evaporation of water from leaves results in a suction force, which pulls water up the xylem vessels. This suction force is called transpiration pull. It is the main force that pulls water and mineral salts up the plant. This upward movement of substances is called the transpiration stream. Factors affecting the rate of transpiration. Transpiration depends on evaporation. Therefore, factors affecting the rate of evaporation also affect the rate of transpiration. These factors affecting the rate of transpiration are humidity, temperature, strong wind, and light. Humidity of air. The intercellular spaces in the leaf are normally saturated with water vapor. If the outside air is dry, water vapor will diffuse more rapidly out of the leaf. That is, the rate of transpiration will increase. Whereas, if the air is damp or humid, evaporation is limited. The more humid the air is, the slower is the rate of transpiration. Temperature of the air. Assuming all other factors remain constant, a rise in temperature of the surroundings will increase the rate of evaporation, and thus transpiration rate also increases. Strong wind. When the air is still, transpiration makes the air around the leaves moist. The water vapors build up and increase the air humidity, hence, as we've stated before, reducing the transpiration rate. During a windy day, the moist air around the leaf is blown away, making the air less humid. humid. This increases the rate of transpiration. The stronger wind, the higher the rate of transpiration. However, if the wind is very strong, the stomata may close because the guard cells lose too much water. What would happen if there's a cool, wet wind? Light. Light affects the size of the stomatal opening on the leaf, thus affecting the rate of transpiration. During the night or in the shade, the stomata close and reduce the rate of transpiration. But on a sunny day, the stomata open wide and increase the rate. The movement of water vapor outward also removes heat from the plants, thereby cooling the leaves and preventing them from being scorched by the hot sun.
Any question? My question, why is the carbon cycle important? Where does carbon go when plants and animals die?
The carbon cycle is important because it helps keep the balance of carbon in nature. It supports life by giving plants carbon dioxide to make oxygen. It also helps control the earth temperature. When plants and animals die, their body breaks down. The carbon goes into the soil or back into the air. This keeps the carbon cycle.
Every breath we take reminds us of how deeply we depend on nature, from carbon dioxide to respiration. The connection between the environment and living things is truly amazing. Thank you so much for watching our presentation. We hope this video has helped you understand more about the role of carbon dioxide in respiration. See you in the next project, and don't forget, breathe with knowledge, live with awareness. Thank you. Bye bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.